she particularly caused it. This is a secret that they're trying to really keep. For some reason, he's unstable. Is Beyonce and Jay-Z hiding Sir Carter's health crisis? What's up, my beautiful soul family? How's everybody feeling today? Sir Carter, the only son of Jay-Z and Beyonce. There's been rumors going around lately saying that Beyonce is hiding hospital trips for Sir Carter, that Sir Carter has some kind of health crisis going on. You know what I mean? There's been long speculation that Sir Carter is also autistic. What I thought I would do today in this reading is let's look and see if there are physical ailments going on with Sir Carter too. Is he a sickly child? Have they been secretly going to the hospital because he's having health crises? And most importantly, is Jay-Z and Beyonce hiding these health crises, or is the internet just speculating because Sir Carter is the only one in the Carter family that's barely seen in public? Anyways, y'all know before I start this reading, I need to put out my disclaimer. This video is for entertainment purposes only. Everything I state in this video is just my interpretation of the cards. There's nothing I will state in this video that have been proven to be fact as of now. So now that we got that disclaimer out the way, let's get these cards shuffled and let's see what is the truth for the situation. Are they hiding Sir Carter's health crisis? All right. So let's pull the cards and let's see if we get the answers that we seek. You got the Page of Cups, which is, about a child. You know what I mean? There's some bad news that they're getting about a child. Let's see here. You got the Queen of Swords in reverse. Let me see. There's some bad news that they're getting about a child. I'm going to assume since we asked about Sir Carter, this is about Sir Carter. Hold on, let's move this over. You know what I mean? So I can pull more cards. And let's see. There's something that they feel they don't have a lot of options with. You know what I mean? I feel like there's some kind of a choice that they're going to have to make. Something going on with him. Come on, let me pull some more cards so that the message could come through clearer of what's going on with Sir Carter. I feel like whatever it is, Beyonce is not very happy about it. You know what I mean? There's some kind of trauma that happened with Sir Carter. This is what I'm seeing in the cards allegedly. So far, like I said, there's some kind of just that she's not wanting to take responsibility for. I get the feeling that maybe, I'm not going to say she particularly caused it allegedly, but there was something that, like I said, she's kind of, okay, come on, let's look, they're celebrities. She doesn't want this to get out. I think she wants to deceive everybody so people don't know about it. But there's some kind of trauma that was caused to Sir Carter as a result. It's not a lot of options or a lot of things that can be done to help him. This is what I'm seeing. Something is going on with him. They received some bad news recently about him. I don't know like how deep it goes. I know that there is some kind of, there's something going on. There is a crisis right now with him. Uh, Let me look some more, see what's going on. Like I said, I'm trying to move these cards so I can pull more so far. But all right, so that was the first row that told me this. They're trying to get it. They're trying to keep it under wraps. I feel like they are paying a lot of good money because they want to find a solution fast. About what's to help level him because for some reason he's unstable. So his condition I feel like isn't stable right now. It's kind of like hit and miss with his condition. They haven't gotten it under control yet. Um, Let me see here. You got the 10 of Wands, which means somebody's been working hard or around the clock. I feel like Sir Carter just might have been in the hospital or he's at home being taken care of by healthcare providers. I don't know. I don't think it's a hospital. I think it's more so he's like at home, like I said, but there's healthcare providers that's coming to the house to help him because his mother and father is paying for this, so they're trying to get him what they can to help him, but they feel like it's a lost cause with him because of his mental incapacity. He doesn't have a good mental capacity. He is a special needs child, allegedly, what I'm seeing in the cards. You know what I mean? I feel like people closest to the family is the ones that put these rumors. Well, yeah, we're going to say the rumors. So for now, it's the ones who put these rumors out there. You know what I mean? about his mental state and about him having a healthcare crisis right now? Let me see here. You got the Eight of Swords right next to the Two of Wands in reverse, which means some kind of severance of ties, you know what I mean, and some kind of self-esteem issue. I feel like, here's what I feel like. Okay, so there was somebody close to them that leaked it, you know what I mean, leaked that Sir Carter is having issues with his health. He's having a health crisis right now. I feel like the logic with Beyonce and Jay-Z is that, you know what I mean, they wish they could be free of this of their son. I still feel like they're ashamed. I feel like this brings them low self-esteem and stuff that they have a child that have these many problems. You know what I mean? They like, this is the biggest family secret that they try to keep under wraps. You know what I mean? I feel like, you know what I mean, they almost lost Sir Carter. This still goes back to Sir Carter's birth. He does have some physical ailments going on that's a result from his birth. He has birth defects, allegedly, what I'm seeing in the cards. This is one of their biggest family secrets. They try to keep this a secret because they doesn't want, you know what I mean? They feel like their career would be ruined if people knew that they had a child that was sickly and you know, a child that wasn't, you know, perfect, or they couldn't at least pass for perfect. Let me see. I'm looking over the cards some more. So Carter was at one point in the hospital. I said, you know, I said in this reading that he's at home right now being looked after with nurses. But at one point, it was a time he was in the hospital. You know what I mean? And I feel like they've had some pretty close calls with him. You know what I mean? Especially I feel like when he was born, I'm feeling like there was a couple. Like when he was born, he almost coded at least once or twice. This is what I'm seeing. That yeah, but like I said, the staff was paid handsomely, you know, to help him, to take care of him, to make sure he's getting the help he needs. Um, hmm. I feel like there was a point. I do. I feel like he had one health scare so bad. This might be now or whatever. He had one health scare so bad they thought they were going to have to plan his funeral. His family, that is. They were scared that they were going to have to plan his funeral. They thought that he was really going to pass away. Um, Let me see. So the last couple of cards, I need to pull some more energy to read on. They look at Sir Carter as weak. You know what I mean? Feeling like, all right. So let me clear up these cards up here because I feel like I've read them and they're confusing the energy now that they're still lingering. So I'm getting this out the way. Let me get these out the way and move these over here. Pull these up. You know what I mean? Yeah, it was a time where they felt like they were going to plan his funeral. They was going to have to plan his funeral. You know what I mean? He had a couple of close calls. Like I said, I see that. I feel like at least once or twice he flatlined before. He must have coded before because of this health issue. This stems still from them practicing dark magic and doing all kind of dark stuff. You know what I mean? Like Sir Carter is kind of. I think I said this before in other videos. I think that Sir Carter is the one who really suffers as a result of the things his parents did. You know what I mean, during their marriage and all of that. They try to pretend like they have this traditional family, like they're complete, but this is why they hide their son allegedly. Um, this is why they keep him isolated from the public. When they travel, he has to stay isolated because he has a lot of things going on with him that'll be noticeable. And again, it's a lot of shame surrounding his condition. You know what I mean? It's a lot of shame. Let me see here. But Spirit, please, I really wish you could just give me the clear message. What exactly is what is the crisis? He's failing to progress, to strive. Whatever is going on with his health status, you know what I mean? Whatever's going on with whatever the physical ailment he has, because I know we've talked before and I stated that he does have some mental health issues, but I'm seeing he also has some physical health issues that goes along with his mental health issues. I think it got something to do, I don't know, my gut just says spinal cord. Like something is also wrong with his spinal cord or something, allegedly. I will have to do a future reading to look more into that. But what I'm seeing, like I said, right now, something's going on with his spinal cord, which is linked to like all right, you know how you've seen people you know how people have put up like pictures of Sir Carter, like let's say walking with Beyonce, and Beyonce has to hold his hand and he has trouble walking. I don't know, for some reason, this is all alleged. I'm getting the feeling he was born with his spinal cord messed up. He can walk somewhat, but it's issues involved with his walking. Something's wrong with his mobility. You know what I mean? This is what I'm feeling like it's and this is why he has to he keeps going back and forth to the hospital, is linked to his spinal cord. This is part of the reason why his failure. He's fell into progress, and they consider him weak and stuff like that because he has these physical ailments going on. Um, this all still went back to the poor decisions that were made during his pregnancy when it came to summoning demons and doing black magic. His mother and father, you know what I mean, they I think I said in previous videos, Shakarda's mother and father, Jay-Z and Beyonce, allegedly practiced some rituals during his pregnancy. You know what I mean? They practiced some rituals, and as a result, it messed up the babies, both him and Rumi. But I'm feeling like him worse, allegedly. You know what I mean? They let me see here. All right, so let me clean up these. They've been read. They start confusing the energy when they linger too long on the table. At least to me it does, because I need to start reading off of the new energy. Okay. See, I don't feel like I said, I do feel like maybe there is something with his spinal cord. You know what I mean? It's been a long journey that they've been trying to fight to get Sir Carter from what they consider to be normal. They still believe that like they can find some kind of a doctor that can make him be normal, like the other kids. This is what they believe. But he has an injury. You know what? I really am starting to wonder if this really is an injury towards his spinal cord because of what happened with his pregnancy when he was still in the womb. Something there was an injury towards him that is going on with his spinal cord. Allegedly, I don't know. Spirit get told me the spinal cord, so this is what I'm just going to say to you guys. You know what I mean? Now, I feel like the Carters refuse to accept this, that his spinal cord just may not heal. You know what I mean? They refuse to accept this, that his spinal cord was ruined. They feel like I said, there's some kind of a way that they could fix this. This is what I'm seeing in the cards allegedly. They're going to keep trying to find doctors so they can get what they want because they feel like they're the Carters. They're very rich. We're going to fix this situation. You know what I mean? We're going to be able to heal him some kind of way. It's nothing that money can't buy. Allegedly, what I'm seeing in these cards. Um, He goes through a lot of pain every single day. Now, typically, I usually end the video when I run out of cards here with the tarot, but I thought today we will also go and use the Oracle deck. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna pull out my Oracle deck as well, and we can like read a little bit more on Sarkarda's condition. What I'm gonna ask the Oracle deck is Sarkarda's spine messed up? That's what we gonna ask the Oracle deck. Oh, this card shot out. Look, look. You see how secret came up and reversed? The secret card came up and reversed. This is a secret that they're trying to really keep. This is a secret they're not trying to get out. There's a lot of secrecy around his health. Stillness. No, wait. Not, yeah, stillness. Okay, so you got secret reversed. You got stillness upright. You got confidence in reverse. They have a lot of insecurity about his spinal cord. I think it is his spinal cord, and I feel like the Oracle deck is trying to say that you know what I mean, he can't move. He's not as mobile as the girls, his sisters are because of his spinal cord injury. You got trust next, and then you got disguise. They've been hiding this. You got fear. They've been hiding this for fear that it's going to get out. You know what I mean? And they've been distrustful to let people know what's going on. I feel like they think, I don't know what in their world, but they think that the public is going to have some kind of issue with this. You know what I mean? They are like, a lot of people is trying to find out this information. You know what I mean? Look, trick. They've been lying to the public, trying to make the public think, oh, no, Sir Carter's fine. He's just shy. That's a trick. They've been lying. This is what I'm feeling like. So I'm pulling the second row, and we're going to look some more. All right. So you got believe reversed. They're trying to trick us. They want us to believe it. I think that they know that we're not believing it. That they know that the public is smart and is going to figure this out. Apparently, so I just feel like they just try to, you know what I mean? They try to lie about it. They try to make it seem like they got it all under control, but behind the scenes, they're fearful. Let me see here. Look, see, cunning, reveal. Somebody that used to work with them is the one that revealed it. It's the same thing the tarot card said. You know what I mean? Now, back in the second deck, I feel like they make a lot of their employees sign NDAs to try to avoid this getting out. Not just the employees that work, closely with Sir Carter, but also his doctors and stuff too. But you know what? There is certain thing as doctor-client confidentiality. So I think that they rely heavily on that as well. You see, you got the strength card, you got the rest card, you got the mystery card, communication instinct. And then you got care reversed, you got protect reversed, and you got energy in reverse. They're not trying to protect, they're not hiding Sir Carter to protect him. They're hiding Sir Carter to protect their image. This is what, you know what I mean? They don't want it getting out to the public because of how it'll make them look. It's not about having concern for their own child. They try to provide health care for him. But again, this is not about love. This is not about them being patient with him. If anything, they lose their patience with him. They just want to rectify the situation because people know about him and he's still a Carter, allegedly. Allegedly. They try to work with doctors, but I feel like they're the type, I feel like, that throw their power in doctors' faces and make threats more so to them, like, oh, you need to fix my son. You need to figure out what's going on with my son. And I don't, from what I'm feeling like my gut is saying, that's not how this really works. You know what I mean? Allegedly, what I'm seeing in the cards and what my gut is saying, that's not how this particularly works. Let me see here. All right. All right. Let's put the oracle cards to the side, pull some more, see what these cards are talking about. So you got transformed. They're not going to be able to fix him. They're not going to be able to fix. You can't, certain things you just can't fix with him. You know what I mean? I think the spirit is saying that his spinal cord is damaged as well as his mental state is damaged. He doesn't even have a good memory. He barely remembers things. He's very forgetful. You know what I mean? You gotta constantly remind him he is a very special needs kind of child. You know what I mean? Let me see. Sacred family in reverse. They're not doing it because he's family. They are, but they ain't. He's family in the sense that people know that he kind of connected to their brand. I mean, I don't want to keep sounding like a broken record and repeat myself with this. They're not very kind to him because they blame him for his own health issues, like he's bringing them down. You know what I mean? He loses his balance a lot. This is what I'm seeing. He has to constantly be watched. He has to constantly be, more than, I know he's about 7, 8 years old, but more than the typical 7, 8 year old because of his, his issues that he have going on. Um, Sir Carter's not going to get better. They want him to get better, but I don't think he's not going to get better. And what saddens me is that card, the last card of this is death, and it's upright. You know what I mean? Death. I'm wondering if he's going to be like this the rest of his life. I don't want to say this part, but I'm also wondering if this is indicating that he's going to have an early death because of his his issues going on. I don't want to, like I said, I didn't want to say that part. Anyways, leave me a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. Do you guys think that, you know what I mean? Do you guys think that Sir Carter has an issue with his spinal cord? Do you guys think that this is going to lead to an early death? Do you guys think that they're, his parents is really trying to work with him out of concern or care, or do you think that they're just they're in it because they're the Carters, and we would know what's going on with them, and we would probably ridicule them, and this gives way to their enemies. Thank you, my beautiful soul family, for tuning in. I'll see y'all in the next reading. Love you, my babies. Have a good one.